Catching the most twisted criminal minds is no easy task, but our next guest gives us hope that it can be done. Welcome Joe Mantegna, a.k.a. Special Agent David Rossi, to the set. Joe, good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you, Chris.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Heavy subject matter this week with spousal abuse and domestic violence.
Heavy subject matter every week.
Yeah.
You know, criminal minds, that's basically what it's about. But it's interesting because I think the more I do it, the more I realize there's nothing we can come up with that really, in a way, can't.
Unfortunately
mirror what happens in life. Yeah.
Is it weird working on such a heavy subject matter every week, week in and week out? Where I mean, you've worked on lighter topics before.
You know, ironically, and maybe a lot of people wouldn't realize this, but I have found that the heavier the material you work on as an actor, it tends to be counterpoint.
Okay.
What's going on off camera. So in other words, for every minute that I work on camera, as it is in film,
right,
you're spending 59 minutes just kind of hanging out with the other actors, doing what you do. And I tend to find that the heavier the material is, the lighter the atmosphere is among, you know,
because everyone's like, we got to get out of this.
Well, I don't know what it is. It's almost like a subconscious thing your brain does, that you know that those moments when they say action, you have to go into this world of, you know, some pretty serious stuff.
And you don't want to stay there.
You don't want to stay there. When they say cut, you kind of go back to that world, and we make that world actually a lot of fun.
Another reason you're here, and it was something I really love and admire that you're doing, is you and Gary Sinise are hosting the Memorial Day concert. You've been doing this for 3 years now.
Actually, I've been hosting with Gary 3, but I've been doing it for 7 years.
Okay.
Actually, 3 years ago, I knew Gary would be a perfect fit for this, and I'd asked Gary, I says, why don't you come in and do the concert with us, and let me know what you think. And as I thought would happen, did happen. He came in, did the concert, and it's one of those, it was for me, and I think he would agree, that it becomes a life-changing event for you. And he said, Joe, as long as you want to do this, man, I'll do it with you. I said, great, we'll do it together.
Tell me about that first year you started doing this.
I tell you, Charles Durning, who we will be actually honoring at this year's concert, he got me involved 7 years ago, asking me if I'd come in and do this, because he had been involved for a while. And when that was the year right after 9/11.
Right.
And I had to, here I'd come to this event pretty much cold, like, yeah sure, I'll do whatever needs to be done. I had to go up on stage, and to 300,000 people with the National Symphony or Washington Symphony Orchestra behind me playing Mozart's Requiem, read the words of 4 New York firemen who had lost their sons in the 9/11 tragedy, and they were sitting in their dress uniform right in the first row with their wives. I looked out at that audience of, as I said, over 250,000 people, the Capitol building, the flag flying. They're playing Mozart's Requiem on these big screens. They're showing what had happened with 9/11.
Not a dry eye in the house.
Well, beyond that, I felt I was going to levitate out of my body. All of a sudden, it transcended performing, transcended being an actor, it transcended even more being an American, being a human being. It was all these things together, and you started to realize, I get it. This is what Memorial Day is about. It has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with anything but honoring people who've made an ultimate sacrifice so we could live in a country like this and be able to have holidays like Memorial Day. So from that moment on, I said to myself, this is something that I
want to be a part of.
I want to embrace. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I appreciate you coming in and fully support you. It's an awesome deal you and Gary Sinise are now doing, so I appreciate it very much. And I know the veterans do as well. Joe Mantegna, and you can catch Joe, of course, on Criminal Minds this Wednesday on CBS at 9/8 Central. And don't forget, please watch this. It's phenomenal if you haven't seen it before. PBS National Memorial Day Concert is Sunday, May 25th.